Hello, hello. I am back for another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand, and today I'm going to be talking to you about brand visuals. So, I get asked a lot about branding and websites, and obviously loads of questions. How can I get more clients? How can I get more conversions? I'm getting loads of people clicking through to my website, but then nothing's working. Or I just already know that my brand visuals just aren't aligned to the vision that I have for myself. So I'm just going to talk about all of this now. Now, obviously, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while and been following me, you will know that building your brand goes so much further, so much deeper than just your visuals. But visuals are a really important part of your brand, and anyone that tells you otherwise has already built a really strong personal brand that people are naturally magnetized to them with their energy, how they're showing up, their personality, like everything about them. They've got a huge audience, they've probably got all the success without having to have the amazing website and the amazing branding. That is incredible for them. But if they are telling you that you don't need strong visuals to help you to grow your business, well, firstly, they're right because you don't need that. You can build an incredible business without it, but you're making things so much harder for yourself if you don't have the strong visuals. Your visuals are that very first impression for a lot of your audience. So if you've got those dream clients, you want to make sure your online shop window, which is your website, your branding, your social media content, is appealing. You want people to want to find out more about working with you. You want people to scroll through your website and to click and to buy and to do all of these things. Your online business is important. And especially if you are somebody that is very introverted, that really doesn't like showing up, doing lives or anything like that, then your visuals do matter because that is how you're going to stop that scroll and get people hooked on you and what it is you're about. So, in terms of the visuals, I used to work with small businesses that just wanted to upgrade their visuals and they just wanted something that looked a bit more polished and it was all very good. And I helped them, and obviously it helped transform their business. When they had people landing on their stuff, it was converting. Amazing. But with a personal brand, it has to start with you. It has to start with you really identifying who you are, understanding who you are, but also knowing who you're going to become once you've achieved those goals. So when you have that really clear vision of what it is that you want to achieve, that lifestyle you have, the person that has that already, so the future version of you, that is the personal brand. That is the person who is the face of your business at that point in time. And she is the person who needs to have aligned brand visuals. So when you are creating your branding, your visuals, your website, and everything, it needs to be aligned to that future vision, not where you're at right now. Now, what a lot of people do is they upgrade their current brand visuals based on the results they maybe want in the next 6 months or the results they're getting now because they just feel like there's a misalignment with the incredible success they've already built and how they're showing up in terms of those visuals. So a lot of people come to me because they just want to bring things into alignment with where they are. But the thing that I always go back to them on is that's amazing. You've built this incredible business. You're very successful already. We're just going to bring everything into alignment and make it look amazing. But how would it feel if we really focused on where you're going and branded based on that? And usually that's when I get the question of, oh, I've never thought about doing that. I was thinking it was obviously outdated and I just needed to upgrade it. I hadn't even thought about how I would maybe be coming across in the future. And this is what my work is all about. It's all about helping you to become that next level version of you. Because when you can brand yourself with those visuals that are aligned to where you're going to be attracting those next level clients, but you're also going to be showing up differently. How you show up, how you present yourself, how you enter a room, how the wording you use, your messaging, everything, it all shifts because you have that confidence. You've got that brand aesthetic that is already showing up as an authority or as more of an authority in your industry with those visuals. So that's what you want to do. Now, your website should be bringing in leads, it should be bringing in clients for you. And if it isn't, there is probably a bit of an energetic leak somewhere. So if you already know that people are clicking to go onto your website, but then nothing much is happening, people aren't signing up to your offers, they're not booking a call with you, they're not purchasing things, there's probably some kind of block somewhere. And it might be that there is a bit of inconsistency between where they first found you. So whether that is a social media platform, maybe they met you in person, and then your website. It could be that because what you want to be doing is your website is a continuation of a conversation you've already been having. So if you've been talking to somebody in person, or you've been showing up doing stories, doing lives, you're showing up with your content. People are getting a really good feel for what you're about. They've got a feel for your energy. Like they're already leaning into you if they have got to the point of clicking to go to your website. What you don't want to do is lose that energy. So when you're having a conversation with somebody in person, it naturally flows, doesn't it? It goes from one thing to the next and you're bouncing back and forth. That's what it should feel like when they go from that first point of contact onto your website. So you're just continuing that conversation and getting them to lean in further to make them want to even click on anything on your site. What happens a lot of the time is people show up in a certain way on social media or in person, but then there is a complete mismatch between who they are and how they're showing up with those visuals. Maybe it is they've gone down the route of a template where they've done a DIY option and it just isn't really aligned to their vibe, like how they show up, their personality. Maybe they've even worked with a designer who was literally a brand designer, because there is a very big difference between somebody that is a designer and can create you the graphics you're asking for and like the kind of service that I offer, where I'm actually always going to go back to my clients, not based on what they're asking me for, but what I can do for them. So I'm always questioning my clients on, okay, that's great. I can absolutely create that thing you've asked me to do. I can absolutely use those colors you've asked me to do, but what if we did this? And that is when there's a big shift. Like I am an expert in what it is that I do. Like I know how to create standout personal brands. I know how to get you magnetic and how to help you stand out from that very first impression in an aligned way. Whereas there are a lot of people out there that can create you beautiful graphics, which is amazing, but it's not going to have that impact behind it, because what they're doing is they're just going to be creating those nice visuals, but then there's kind of no foundational piece to it. So that is why it's really important to work on those foundations, really identify who you are and think about who you're going to become in the future version of you. So your brand visuals should always be aligned to where you're going, not where you are now. Because when you start doing that, you're going to magnetize people to you, because we're like magpies. We're drawn to color, we're drawn to messages, we're drawn to nice images that we like feel aligned to. So if you are someone that is a very vibrant person, you love bright colors, you love bold prints, you love all of that, you're going to be far more drawn to a social media account or a website where somebody is showing up with that same energy. They're your kind of person. You're already going to be leaning into what it is that they do. And it might be they might be a future client, it might be as an opportunity there, it might be a collab, like whatever it is, or they're going to recommend you to other people because people in their world are similar to your kind of vibe. So that's how you want to be positioning yourself. If you are someone that is that high vibe energy with the vibrant colors and everything, but your branding is very muted and you're playing it safe because you think that is more appropriate for the industry you're in, that's great. You're still going to be attracting clients if it looks all professional, but you're going to be missing out on being that instant, oh my gosh, this person is my vibe. So when you go a bit too muted, a bit too plain, a bit too like what I would call mediocre, and you're blending in with what everybody else is saying, how everybody else is showing up, you're not standing out and you're making your life so much harder to bring in those dreamy clients. Like I would say, like every client I've worked with in the last year has been my kind of client. They've been an energetic match for me because I've been showing up differently. I've been showing up with more energy. Like my colours have gone brighter and bolder. I've been more vibrant. I've been going to the rooms where there's vibrant women. I've been doing all of the things that help me to build my brand in a fully aligned way. And I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not just focusing on the visuals. I'm focusing on all of the different elements that mean that I'm in the spaces with my kind of people, which naturally creates like a ripple effect and it brings in more people that are aligned into your world. So I'm only getting people on calls with me that are a really good fit for me because of how I'm showing up. Now, what will happen is if you're showing up with very kind of safe content, you're using that website template that everyone else has used, you're using the very beige kind of vanilla brand aesthetic, you're going to attract a whole variety of different people. Some will be a great fit and some won't. Like that's just what's going to happen. But when you show up with your kind of energy and your vibe, so everything people see from that first impression is just you. It's literally like you're in the room with them. You're either going to be an absolute hell yes, or you're going to be a no, she's not for me. And that's what you want. You actually do want to be turning people away that aren't the right fit, because who wants to work with clients like that? We've all been there. We've all had clients that weren't the right fit, that were really difficult to work with, and you couldn't wait until their whatever it is ended because it just wasn't the right energetic match for you. We have all been there. I know if you're listening to this now that you have had a client or maybe more that you were just like, it's just not the right fit. It's actually draining my energy. So you want to be making sure that you're showing up in a way that is going to bring in the right kind of people to you. So what I would suggest you do is think about where you're going. Who is it you want to be working with? And how do you want to be seen? Like, what is that first impression you want to be giving to your audience? So, if you go into a room, what are you wearing? What makes you feel the most confident version of you? If you are having your perfect day, what does that perfect day look like? What kind of personality do you have? Like, all of these different things. And then think, is that a match for my brand personality? Because remember, we're building a personal brand. A personal brand is a reflection of you and who you are, not what you think you should be showing up. A business brand is very different to a personal brand. So, your personal brand, if you are a service provider, a coach, consultant, creative, whatever, you need to be showing up in a way that is fully aligned to you to bring in your aligned people. And this is exactly why I stepped away from the business that I used to have, because actually it was fully aligned as a business brand and it was bringing in dreamy, perfect clients for that business. But I realized after going through my whole journey of self-discovery, which if you've not listened to the previous episode, make sure you go and check that out, of after having children, really identifying who I am, everything shifted. And I realized actually my business brand was nothing like who I am as a person. And I started to have this disconnect between the two, which was when I started to really build on my personal brand. And then naturally it kind of overtook. And then I stepped away from the other business. Like it's all a process. Stepping away from something doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean you're giving up on anything. It just means that's the end of that chapter and you're moving on to the next. And the thing with your visuals is you've got to ask yourself, so your visuals are such an important part of your brand. Now, you can absolutely DIY, you can hire any designer, but one thing that you want to make sure you're doing is that any time spent, any money spent, you're actually going to get a return of investment. So the clients that I work with have 2K, 5K, 10K, even higher packages for their clients. Now, to work with me for my full package for an entire year, they would only need to get one of their like top clients, one of them. And that brand positioning is going to help them to achieve that in such a short space of time that that investment then becomes an absolute no-brainer. But if you are somebody that only sells lower ticket offers and you feel like you want to get more people into your audience, but it's going to take you a hell of a lot more clients to be able to get that return of investment in terms of what you need to sell to make that money back. You need to firstly ask yourself, what is it that I want? Because if I want to bring in more people into my audience, having myself positioned as a leader is going to help me to do that. You've got to also think of the bigger picture of like, this is a investment that will last you and your business potentially years. And think of the amount of business that is going to help you to bring in over that time. Like I've had people that rebranded with me 5 years ago, even coming up 6 years actually, and their branding is still working really well for them now. Now, I would question whether that person has evolved as a business owner in that time because that's quite a long amount of time. But it might be that actually they're really happy with how things are going. They've been getting their consistent, like higher paying clients, which I know from conversations I've had they are. And that's worked for them. And that's absolutely fine. Like I have transitioned multiple times, I've leveled up multiple times. So where my business was 5 years ago is not even a touch on where I am now. So it's thinking of that bigger picture. How do you want to show up? How do you want to position yourself? Do you want to be that one that they say hell yes to? Or do you want to be the person that they're like, oh, yeah, she's okay. I'll look around at other options. If you want people to be diving into your offers, your brand visuals, your messaging, how you're showing up is important. So it's thinking about making that next investment into your business, into your brand, that's going to position you as an authority and helping you to stand out. Having the right visuals, having the right brand content, the messaging, everything, how you're showing up, not only brings in clients, not only positions you as a leader, but it actually opens up doors to opportunities that you may not have even thought about. It could be a press feature that you actually get approached for. Like I get people messaging me, asking me to collab on things, or if I want to be featured in something, or they really liked my message or this piece of content, could I do something for that? Like opportunities come to you when you start showing up differently. So your visuals do matter because it is that instant first impression. You've got basically two options. You can either instantly speak to your dream clients and opportunities and position yourself as a leader and stand out as an absolute hell yes from that very first impression, meaning you need far less touch points to be able to convert people. Or you can show up with content that looks really good, it looks fine, but it's not quite punchy enough in that it's going to get those people jumping all in. They're going to think about it. They might come back in a year's time. They might be somebody that tells you they can't afford it right now, but they love your stuff, or you're getting a lot of the love this post kind of comments. There is a big difference between the two, and it's an energy thing. When you show up with confidence, with slightly audacious content, with positioning yourself as a leader, as the go-to, with brand visuals that are aligned to you and where you're going to be instantly attracting those aligned people so that you're going to be getting in those people that are like, okay, I know I need to work with you because that really hit me, that message. How can I sign up? Rather than, can you send me your prices? I'll think about it. Oh, yeah, I'll come back to you later. And then you having to chase. You don't want to be chasing clients. Who has time for that? I am here to build a brand that attracts rather than chases. So attracting that vision, attracting those clients, attracting those collabs and opportunities and all those incredible things that will help you to scale. I am not into chasing. I don't chase people. People will come to me because they already know that they need to work with me. And that is the power of your brand positioning and standing out with those brand visuals. Your website should flow. It should be a continuation of a conversation you've already had and encourage them to want to click through and go through this flow, this journey, in order to take that call to action that you want them to take, whether it's booking a call, messaging you, signing up, buy now, like whatever that is. You want them to make that call to action on that website. And if you're not getting that, there's a misalignment. So it's thinking you can either carry on, you can try and DIY upgrading, you can do all those things, but is it actually going to get you those results that will help you with that transformation you want, which is essentially getting more business? That's the whole point. You're running your business. You want to help more people, you want to make more money, you want to create more freedom, you want to do all those things. So it's thinking that investment that you're going to be making, is that going to be a good return of investment, whether it's your time and spending less money, or do you want to do something that is actually going to really shift things and take things to that whole new level? I'm going to leave that with you for today. If you do want to message me about my brand level up experience, my next booking is available for May this year. I'm very limited on spaces this year because I'm only taking on one of my full package clients per quarter to give the most premium experience and to really help you to shift into your next level version of you. If that is you and you are ready to stand out as an authority, if you want to attract those incredible speaking opportunities, get featured in the press, you want to be the leader that you already know you were born to be, then hit me up, send me a DM, send me an email, and let's get the ball rolling. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Mwah.
Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of building your own personal brand, head over to my website, baileyandrue.com, where you can grab my free Brand Brilliance Blueprint today. It's your roadmap to success in the world of branding. And hey, let's stay connected beyond the podcast. Follow me on Instagram at baileyandrue for daily inspiration, behind the scenes insights, and exclusive content to fuel your brand journey. See you there.